the Arizona Sourdough Foundation, also known as My Kitchen. Excuse me 1 minute, please.
Chrysler Pacifica is the most awarded.
All right, so now we're ready. So, bulk fermentation has completed. Couple of notes on today's recipe. First of all, about the leaven. Like I said, I made that leaven just about a week ago. And I let it at room temperature, I let it ferment until it was almost at peak, not quite. And I refrigerated it for a whole week. And I knew that my leaven, Slow-Mo, is strong. He is a good, fast mother culture. Anyway, it stood in there for a week. I took it out. I let it come to room temperature. I knew it was going to be bubbly and ready. And he was ready for the job. Really was. It's a good technique, actually. I like it like that. I like using it like that. I may have to change Slow-Mo's name. He's no Slow-Mo anymore. He's no slouch. I'm thinking Dominic Toretto. Don for short. What do you think? You guys know who Don Toretto is? He's the dude from Fast and Furious. Anyway, be that as it may, I'll think about it. I kind of like Slow-Mo, but I'll think about it. Don Toretto's a good one too. We're ready for pre-shaping. I made three. And also the other thing a couple other things I wanted to mention. I put it in my straight-sided fermentation container. I got the real nice ones, clear, graduated. I had just about 2 quarts. It was up to the 2-quart line. Excuse me. I let it rise up until the 3-liter line. Double would have been to the 4-quart, 4-liter line around there. I let it rise just to the 4-quart line. So just shy of double, and they look really nice. And the other thing is when I told you I was going to raise the hydration to 69% hydration. I could have did it just by adding water, of course. But for some reason, I didn't know at the time, but I figured it out. I wanted to add flour too. I added flour because I wanted the whole recipe to be just over 2,000 grams. And that's what I did. So I raised it up to, I wound up with 2,015 grams, something like that. And I didn't lose much. I didn't have a lot of bowl residue so far. I separated it into 3 loaves. I made 2 small ones. One I'll give to my son, the other to my granddaughter to bring home for some bread for the week. And I'm making a big one for me. That's 1,000 grams. The little ones are just over 500 grams each. And this one is 1,000. So I made 3 nice breads. Well, we're going to start with one of the small ones right here. I had it sitting there pre-shaped for 40 minutes. All right, so I'm going to pat it down a little. I'm going to put just a little bit of flour from the bench on my hands because it's a little tiny bit sticky. That's because it's so warm in here. Anyway, let me bring this over too. I'm going to make these into little baby batards. Again, the cheesecloth, this stuff is really good. You don't even have to flour it. It works really well. I'm going to put it over to the side right now. We're going to make 2 baby batards and we're going to make 1 big batard. Okay, so I'm just going to get a little more strength into this. All right, and we want it to be in the batard shape. So we're going to go like this. We're going to put these ends in, these little wings. And we're going to stick that all together, and we're going to do that whole thing one more time. Okay, let's do this side. Let's fold these ends in a little bit, just like this. Now, we're going to take this whole thing, it's just nice and tight, and we're going to pull it really tight. I'm going to pull it really tight, and then we're going to taper the ends, and this will be ready. Oh, yeah. That is a nice loaf of bread right there. Beautiful, beautiful. And that's ready to go into the fermentation container. I'm sorry, into the proofing container, the proofing basket. So anyway, these aren't wooden bannetons. I got them at the restaurant's supply store. They're for the restaurants to put their cooked bread in it and serve it at the table. They work fine. They work really well. I don't do it without a liner in it, and these cheesecloth liners work really well. Now this is going to go into the banneton, seam side up. Okay? Seam side up. Beautiful. Look at that. Looks good? Looks good to me. It's going to be real good. This is going to work out really nice, guys. All right, so we're going to set this one aside, and we're going to make the other small one. Seam side up. A little bit of flour from the bench. That's why I don't like really wet doughs. It's so much easier to handle. It's a pleasure, actually. It's a pleasure. When I make bread, I want to be happy and I want it to be a good experience. I don't want to be dealing with messy dough that's falling all over the place and slack. It's just not for me. That's not the way I like to bake. Nice 70% hydration dough, fermented the right way, is going to be great. All right, so now we did that. I'm going to bend these ends in a little bit. Whatever, sometimes I just do stuff on the fly. It's not really a perfect technique, but as long as it works, right? The only thing this is doing right now is to put a nice tight skin on the on the dough. And my way works. Might not be the proper way, but it does work. So now we're going to do this, and we're going to get that seam on the bottom, and we're going to roll it like this. Beauty! That's all. Doesn't take much, guys. Nice. I like it. This one came out better than the other one. Could you see it? It's a beauty. It's a beauty. Let me get the other banneton. Fake banneton. I wish I had a restaurant supply store close by me here in Arizona. But I don't. Manhattan, it was a pleasure. I used to love going to that place and walking around and seeing what I could spend money on. Anyway, this one's done. Look how nice. Beauty. These are going to be really nice. Tomorrow morning, I'll wake up early. It's already 3:36 here, so if I get up at 3 o'clock, I have time to preheat the oven and they'll be co-fermenting for a little over 12 hours. If I get up earlier, which I might, because sometimes I go to bed early and I can't sleep through the night, maybe we could bake them at 10 hours. But we'll see. Whatever time it is, I'll show you before they go into the oven. We'll score them together, and then we'll put them in the oven. Now for the big boy. Okay? All right. This one, I want to take my time with because I want it to come out good. All right, this is a true banneton. This is a true banneton. It's a nice one. And it's batard shapes, eh? See how nice? It's a big one. All right, so now, in order for it to fit in here, it's a big blob of dough, so I have to be a little careful that I don't make it too long. I want it to fit. So I got my trusty ruler. I don't want to go longer than 12 inches. And it's pretty big, so I want to be a little aware of that fact when I'm stretching the skin, making a tight skin. I don't want to roll it out into a huge baguette because I don't have something to bake it in. And I got the banneton all ready. Okay, seam side up. I already have it into the shape, so we're halfway there. It was pre-shaped into this beautiful football shape. Could you see it? Yeah. Let's give you a little better view. It's nice. Anyway, trust me, it's nice. Now we're going to tighten it up. A little on my hands. We still got some on the counter too. Not too much. All right, so what's the technique that I am so in love with? The iron fist and the velvet glove. Be firm and gentle at the same time. Any damage you do to the dough at this juncture is going to show up in the finished product. So let's try and be diligent and aware of that fact, because we don't want to damage the dough. Okay, that's good. All right, am I going to spin it yet? I think so. I don't want it to get too big, because just doing this stretches it out so much. But it needs a lot of tightening. It needs some tightening. And this one I'm going to do different. I'm going to do this one baguette style. All right, so I did them one each, right? So now I'm going to fold this one again a little over the middle. A little bit over. All right, good. 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 Nicely done, Will. See, it's getting big already. Let's see, where am I? All right, I'm already over 12, so we're going to squeeze it in. We're going to squeeze it in. We're going to push it in a little like this. I need to get it a little tighter. It's not tight enough. So we're going to squeeze it in like this. We still got that beautiful shape. This will be good. So now we're going to go all the way to here. All right, baguette style. Nice. Nicely done. Close up that seam really good. Let's see where we are now. All right. Okay. Now we want to try and make it as even as we can. This side could get a little longer, and this side too. I'm actually liking this, guys. I think it's going to be okay. I think it's going to be okay. It's not quite even. This side's a little skinnier, but I think we're going to be okay. I could even push it in a little because it's a little too long. But I want to have that little pointy. I don't want to lose that point either. Yeah, now it's perfect. Now it's perfect, guys. All right, you know what? Excuse me 1 second. This is my homemade baguette flipping board. All right, so the seam is now on the bottom. We're going to put it on here, and that's going to turn the seam side up, and then we're going to flop it into the banneton. Nicely done, Will. Except now it'll be seam side. Yeah, it'll be perfect. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. Might have to make it a little smaller. I don't want to lose that point though, if possible. All right, I think this is going to work. I think this is going to work. Nicely done. Very nicely done. Okay. Yeah. A little bit too long, but that's okay because I'm going to adjust it now. Okay. You don't want to mess with it too much because I don't want to damage it. You guys know why, right? Because it's going to translate to the finished dough. Beautiful. How's that look, guys? How did I do? Did I do okay? I think so. So that's it. I'm going to put these guys to sleep. And I'll see you guys first thing in the morning and we'll bake these up. I have a good feeling about this bake. I think the bulk ferment went well. I'm liking the way the dough looks and feels. I think we're going to be A-okay. All right, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning and we'll bake them up.